Yo, alright guys, what up? This your boy TDub. What's blazing in sports, guys? We are here. Matter of fact, we are here live. Alright, so Anthony Joshua and Povetkin, guys, just finished their weigh-in. There wasn't a whole lot to take from it, but guys, get into it. This is a fight going down tomorrow. Tomorrow, this is a fight. There's a lot of questions, man, that's going to be asked that needs to be answered about this fight. But the biggest thing, I think, for what people are looking for, the biggest result is, honestly, I don't think it's AJ beating Povetkin or if Povetkin can upset AJ, because there will be an upset. I think a lot of people are just looking at how well the zone will do. How many people will actually tune in for this app? I think that is the biggest thing, man. And the zone came up with their heavy hitter. You know, the zone came up with their biggest hitter. It's like the Avengers throwing either Thor or Hulk up there, you know, like go and see what they can do and see if it can push the right amount of sales. But that's the biggest thing, man. How well will the zone do? Because win or lose after this fight, they're going to ask Eddie Hearn, you know, probably not right after, but at least in a few days, how the numbers actually look. And will we get the accurate numbers or will we get some fluff numbers? We don't know, guys, but let's get to it. All right, so Anthony Joshua weighed, I think, 17.8 stones and 5 pounds, and Povetkin was 15 stones, 12 pounds, somewhere in that area. And it's going down, man. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of prediction on this. I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm not seeing AJ get a knockout. I think at one point I thought I saw AJ maybe get a knockout. I think Anthony Joshua might win this by decision. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's going to try to go for the knockout. But I think he might actually get this fight by decision. I don't think Povetkin, I don't know, man. I'm going back and forth in my head as I go live now. You know, because I think, did Klitschko, did he knock out Povetkin? I know he beat Povetkin, but that's his only loss. And Povetkin is 39 years old, guys. 35 fights, 34 wins, 39 years of age. And you got Anthony Joshua, who is the young lion between them two, with 20 wins, 20 coming by knockout with no losses. So we going to have to see what happened, man. And I was watching this live, right? I don't remember which, maybe Sky Sports. I don't know who I was watching the live weigh-in on. But, man, in that chat room, like I said, man, it's like it's hunting Anthony Joshua until it actually happens. In that chat room, every other question was about Deontay Wilder. Every other question, if it wasn't about Deontay Wilder, they were hating on Deontay Wilder. It's like the fans, you know, I don't know, they're just showing a lot of hate for Wilder. One of them said, out of nowhere, Wilder? Who is Wilder? What do you mean, Wilder? Who is Wilder? You typed his name on the chat just to say that you know exactly who he is. And you will be tuning in Wilder versus Fury. Well, even though I know a lot of people probably not going to support this fight, the winner does impact the heavyweight division. Because the winner, Povetkin or Joshua, is going to be asked a question about fighting the winner between Deontay Wilder and Fury. Like I said, I am predicting that Anthony Joshua wins this fight. I think Anthony Joshua goes out there, you know, uses his jab. And honestly, like, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm almost want to say it goes to decision, but then part of me wants to say that Anthony Joshua stops him. I don't think it'll be early. I think, you know, if Joshua stops him, it'll probably be, you know, mid to later rounds. But I don't know, man. There is a clear size difference. Povetkin, you know, he doesn't have that body like he stays in the least of weightlifting gym or cardio gym. But, you know, he has the size and the record to show that, you know, he could win. Like I said, if this fight would have took place in Russia, then I might have been picking Povetkin for the upset. Hey, good morning, the underrated darkness. What's going on? Hey, the underrated darkness. I was very close this morning to doing a breakfast and you know and showing my food. You know, you inspired me. I'm still trying to, you know, build up the courage to do that. If I can set that up, I'm definitely going to get that done. Underrated darkness. We are talking about you know, Joshua versus Povetkin. That is a fight that's going down tomorrow. Remember, if you are trying to catch this fight legally or illegally, it's probably be like, don't expect the time to be our time. It's most likely probably be somewhere around 5 o'clock Eastern time, somewhere give or take. I could be wrong, but that's something to invest if you want to catch it, this fight. But you know what? From watching the live weigh-in, man, the one thing I did not see, they didn't interview Povetkin. It's crazy that they talked to Anthony Joshua, right? And I would say this is the only time I did not hear them ask about Wilder, because in every interview I done seen, Deontay Wilder's name has come up. When Tony Bellew was talking to him about how he's going to be Povetkin, what Povetkin's going to do, he's going to be the smaller, faster guy. And Anthony Joshua talking about you're going to see more boxing, more slick moving out of him. See, that's what makes me think it goes to decision. Because Anthony Joshua is not saying this time around that he's going to knock Povetkin the spark out. He's talking about doing way more boxing. And typically if you're talking about doing way more boxing, way more slick heel movement, things like that, you're typically, it seems like you want to style on your opponent. You want to prove that you're a boxer, not just a power puncher, which means it might go to the decision. I am going to watch the fight. I am not going to get the app, but I am going to watch the fight. Take of it what you take of it. But I am not getting the app. But, it's a heavyweight fight, man. You have to know the outcome of this fight, because the winner of this fight, they're going to talk about, the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. I think Wilder is going to KO Tyson Fury. Probably, maybe around 5 or 6. I think Wilder finally catches up with Fury and hurts him. I think for the first 2 or 3 rounds, Tyson Fury is going to have a lot of energy, man, a lot of energy, and is going to be moving around that ring and trying to avoid that right hand from a Wilder. But I think either in an exchange or Wilder just catching with that right hand, I think that's when Tyson Fury realizes that, goddamn, this is like facing Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and at least 3 of the stones. Pray to God he don't get the other 2 stones and punch me with that. But let's get back to this fight, man. This is the fight that is happening tomorrow. My prediction is that Povetkin is not going to have the reach to be able to get to Wilder like that. Povetkin is going to try to counter him. He's going to try to counter Anthony Joshua. I call it Anthony Joshua Johnson. Anthony Joshua jab. The Underrated Darkness says, I'm going to try watching the fight. Yeah, man. I'm going to watch it. Like I said, I am not getting the app, but I am going to watch it. I'm probably going to go to Bob's house, and we're going to catch this fight. Bob is as my brother. We always catch a lot of these fights. A lot of them we missed lately, but I'll probably go catch this fight with him tomorrow. But guys, you know what? A shout out to everyone that comes in the chat. Shout out to the Underrated Darkness, man. Support the brother. He, talks some really good talk, does some really good interviews, and also on Sundays, he prepares a meal and shows it to you, and just inspires anyone that you can do it as well. And I might do a video. I'm telling you, man. I might go to the store, grab some random stuff, and come back and see if I can put some together as well. So I think in this fight right here, man, Anthony Joshua, he is the favorite. And looking at these 2 guys, he is the man that's better in shape. And don't get me wrong, being in shape doesn't always mean you're going to win, but it let people know that you put the work in the gym. Underrated Darkness says Povetkin have to go inside, hit the body in and out, let AJ come to him. He just got to be lateral. Yeah, and I think that's what Anthony Joshua is anticipating. Because Povetkin, going off their weight, he's 15 stones, and then you got Anthony Joshua, who's over 17 stones. I think 17.8 stones. Povetkin is going to have to move. If I had to, let's do a key to victory as well for this. If I was Povetkin, I would definitely, like the Underrated Darkness said, I would use a lot of lateral movement, and then I would try to get inside off of one of Anthony Joshua's jabs, because Anthony is going to try to keep Povetkin at arm's length with that jab. But what Povetkin needs to do is use that against Anthony Joshua. When Anthony Joshua jabs, come in under it. You know, the best, I mean, you could try to catch it and counter it, but a lot of times since Joshua has that reach, your counter might not land. But if Povetkin can come under that jab, it looks like I might be freezing up a bit, but I'm going to keep going. If Povetkin, like, once Anthony Joshua jabs and Povetkin can slide under it, gets right to that body, he might be able to land, you know, some really good inside work. And then, at that point, he needs to stay on the inside of Povetkin. Not Povetkin, but Joshua. Stay on the inside, but not directly in front of Joshua. If he stays directly in front of Joshua on the inside, he's going to be greeted with an uppercut that's probably going to knock the sonic rings out the top of his dome like he did Klitschko. But he needs to get inside, stay off to an angle, and try to work those shots on Joshua. Just like Underrated Darkness said, Povetkin needs to use lateral movement. Now, he doesn't really need to be out as much as he needs to be in. I think Povetkin needs to be in a lot. When he goes out, that's when he can get caught. You know, when he goes out, he can get caught with those really big shots. Bow, bow. And Anthony Joshua, them shots can really affect him. But I think early on, Povetkin needs to get in. Povetkin needs to use that ring. Also use his jab. Even though his jab probably won't land or be in reach as much as Anthony Joshua's jab would be, but Povetkin needs to use that jab just to throw off the timing of Anthony Joshua. And not just use the jab, but use that jab, you know, maybe jabbing 2 and 3 and 4 times, try to get to Anthony Joshua. And like I said, one way to get into Anthony Joshua is sliding under Anthony Joshua's jab and just get to the body that way. Maybe slide under it and tap to the body. Or slide under Anthony Joshua's jab and jab Anthony Joshua to the body as you do it. And then come back up top with a huge overhand right. You know what? And that's it. Since Povetkin is short, I think Povetkin needs to go with that overhand right against Anthony Joshua to try to, you know, get that upset. The Underrated Darkness said, yes, Povetkin have to slip the jab, tie AJ up, and also have to roll with AJ's punches. Damn right he needs to roll with them punches. If he don't roll with them punches, he could find himself rolling on the canvas. But again, man, from listening to Anthony Joshua, it doesn't sound like he's want to go for the knockout. It may happen. It sounds like he wants to box more. He wants to be a mover more. And to be honest, I really believe Anthony Joshua is trying to do all this moving more in preparation for Deontay Wilder. That's just what I think. I think Anthony Joshua is confident that he can beat Povetkin because he even said again in the Tony Bellew that he think it could be, you know, somewhat of an easy night. And see, this is crazy. This is what's crazy. Tony Bellew asked Anthony Joshua, you know, about the Povetkin fight. And he was like, you know what, if I do this, it can be pretty much an easy fight. And then Tony Bellew asked him about Deontay Wilder. And Anthony Joshua immediately said, I don't know, that's a 50-50 fight. That's a 50-50 fight. 50-50 fight means I could lose, you know, I could win. I don't really know. It's a 50-50 fight. That's what it means. It's like it's a flip in a coin. You don't know if it's going to land on heads and tails, but you can call it an error. But a lot of times you can be wrong or you can be right, at least 50% of the times. So, like I said, man, I don't know how this fight is really going to do. The biggest thing of this fight is how well will it sell. I don't think it's been pushed in the U.S. hard, and they want to tap into the U.S. market. That's the thing. They want to tap in the U.S. market, but I haven't really seen a push in the U.S. market, marketing-wise, for Povetkin versus Joshua, if you're trying to sell this app. You know, and I think in the U.K. it may have been pushed pretty good. And when it comes to the app, I think from the press conference, from what I've seen, I think it was yesterday, they say it's $9.99. So if you want this app, if you want to pay for the app, it's $9.99. I think you're going to get around, in the U.S., 80 boxing matches, and you're going to get like 16 or some MMA matches, something like that, and you can get the first month free if you get the app. You know what? Like I said, you know what caught me is when I was watching the press conference is Michael Buffer is only going to be on Matchroom now. You won't see Michael Buffer. From listening to what that guy said, it sounds like Michael Buffer, the one that's been calling fights for years, would now only be seen on Matchroom. I don't know how long that contract is, but he won't be on HBO. He won't be on Showtime. He would be on the Zone app or whatever event that Matchroom is involved in. And I didn't know that. And also, Sugar Ray Leonard would be on the broadcasting cast. So they definitely spent some money, man. They definitely spent some money to get these guys. But will it pay off? That's the thing. They're throwing a lot of money to try to get people to buy this app. But the thing is, will it actually pay off? That's what we're waiting on. But guys, who do you think? Who do you think will win this? Do you got Anthony Joshua winning this one? Do you think Povetkin can pull off the upset? You know, if I had to get keys to victory for Anthony Joshua, the one thing I would think for Anthony Joshua is, you know, use that jab, keep that reach, and if I was Anthony Joshua, I would look to counter the overhand right. I would know that Povetkin is a shorter guy. He has knocked people out by throwing overhand rights in hook type motions. I will be looking for that to counter that type of motion. But guys, let me go and get out of here. This is your boy TDub. I'm trying to come back again. I am at work. Just wanted to touch on this a little bit. Shout out to everyone who came in the chat. Shout out to the Underrated Darkness. This is your boy TDub. What's blazing the sports? We are here. We are here live.